Shabbat Shalom, Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. May the Most High be praised. Isn't this something? Ain't this something? All right. We're going to rock. We're going to roll. We're going to get this done. You ready?
Shalom, y'all.
Right. Shalom, shalom. Let's rock and roll and get this done. Give all honor and praise unto the Most High King of all creation. Thanking him for the breath of life that he's given to each and every one of us. And today is that day, family. So what we're going to do is we have to acknowledge the Creator in all that we do. So at this portion of our class is the portion where we thank the Creator for whatever it is that we're thankful for, whatever we feel he's done for us in a special way, and how he's helped us, healed us, corrected us, blessed us, taught us. So whatever it is that you feel that you're thankful to the Most High for, now is the time to do so. So we have a distinguished guest amongst us today in our midst. One of my spiritual sons from way back, long time ago. I think I first met him, I think he's around 14, 15. How old was you when we first met? Can you hear me?
Yeah, on a journey, like 14.
Yeah, about 14, 15. So now he got, on his screen, he got the name Lamar. I don't know him by Lamar. We don't use that name, but that's obviously what he wants for you all to know him by. So should I mention your other name or just leave it as Lamar?
You leave it as Lamar.
All right.
There's a reason.
Lamar. Okay, no problem. Do your thing. So that's Lamar. And he was one of the teachers at Temple Kifarim from way back in the day. And he's going to bring forth a lesson to us today. And the lesson is entitled, Are You Prepared to Sit in the Seat of Judgment? I promise you, get your notepads out, your pencils, your papers, anything, your recording devices, get all that stuff out, because it's going to be a phenomenal lesson. That's just how he is. That's just what he does. He's going to be thought-provoking and make your mind think and cause you to see a reality that you hadn't previously seen. With no doubt, I already know how he moves. So that's going to get started after we finish the first opening portions. All right? So who would like to be first? Shabbat Shalom, Ima Sukari. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Aisha. Mr. Otter, Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Otter. Very first one in the room today. Before we even got to open up, Mr. Otter was present. Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Otter. All right. Who would like to be first to thank the Most High for whatever it is you'd like to thank the Most High for? Oh, yeah, by the way, I also wanted to mention that he's a vocalist, too. He sings and plays the guitar. Don't be surprised if he pull out the tunes on us today and start singing it and busting it down for us. I'm telling you. And listen, when my wife passed away, his son did a presentation on a guitar, and it was phenomenal. He had a great teacher. Believe me, family. You know, you talk about a lot of people who likes accuracy, who likes correctness, who likes precision and perfection. This is one of those brothers. And I'm sure you will be pleased with the lesson that he brings forth today. But let's give honor to the Most High on this day. Who would like to be first to give glory to the King? You got some stuff there. You want to take care of that? All right, they're telling me I got to go to Facebook and make Facebook public. I'm going on mute, Emma.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Giving all praises, all glory unto the Creator. M. Sukari says, thankful for who the Most High has placed in my way. Yakai. All praises. May the Most High be praised. I guess since I'm here, I can go ahead. Shabbat Shalom. All praises to the Creator. Thankful for the holy day, the Shabbat day, for another Shabbat day, getting us through another week, allowing us to do the things that we needed to do to, just be formidable throughout this week. The Most High has blessed us in so many ways, so many things, so many challenges of living on the land, and the Most High continues to bless us and open up the pathways and the doorways and the heavens to shine His light upon us. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that the Most High saw fit for just this past week to allow our school to finally be fully staffed. Every subject has an educator, plus we have assistants and teachers' assistants. And so it's just a beautiful process to see how the Most High is blessing us to see the growth in the school. We are going on our 5th year. And so I'm so excited about that. I am truly humbled by the presence of so many young sisters that are in the midst of us, and how the Most High sees fit to allow us to be, I guess, just examples of leadership, of integrity, of humbleness, and that we are, being used by the Creator. So I'm thankful that the Most High has chosen us as His vessels to be used in a righteous and positive manner. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that my young sister, my little sister, my youngest, made it from South Africa a week ago, and she's been here visiting with us for the last, it's been 2 weeks now, 2 weeks. And so she has one more full week with us. And so I'm just grateful that the Creator saw fit to allow her to come. It's always a blessing to see her. And I just pray that the Most High continues to be with each and every one of us, blessing our households and blessing all those who are with child in their womb, and all those who are, that the Most High send a special healing for those who are in mourning at this time. So many amongst us are in mourning, and it's always important just to give them a moment of acknowledgement. So may the Most High be praised in all things. Torah. And then my sister Ornette says, I'm thankful and grateful to the Creator for allowing me to see another year in this physical realm. Thankful to be connecting with the family on this beautiful Shabbat day. Okay, Yom Huledet Samayach, Ornette. So thankful for the Most High's blessing upon you as well. Are you ready?
BK. Yes. He's saying Shabbat Shalom. Hey everyone, Shabbat Shalom. I do not have my phone. I forgot it at the house, so I won't be able to text in the chat as of right now. But Shabbat Shalom, everyone, to the family, Mishpachah, to Sister Orni, Ima Sukari, everyone else that is coming in. Shabbat Shalom. I am grateful just to be alive and well, to have a thinking mind, to have all of our my limbs working, the health of our son, the health of our family. I'm grateful for the small things. I'm grateful for the family that I have, the amazing husband, the amazing sister wife, my family in Ohio. I'm grateful that I have all that I need around me. Torah. I am grateful to be able to play a part in the community, whether it be my role at GHA, or I just recently started experiencing the food drive that my sister wife does with some people here that hand out food for children. So it's the program, but I recently been joining her along that, happening every Tuesday. And it's just a really good thing to be able to give back and help out the community, especially Sparta, with the economic hardship and everything with the people here. So I'm glad that I've been able to assist and help out, be a helping hand in that. That's been bringing me a lot of joy. I pray that that expands even more. Maybe we can do something like that, our own, to make it even more plentiful, the food more plentiful for the people. And yeah, that's my thankfulness for this week, for the past few weeks. It's been raining here. We've been having a lot of humid heat, but I'm grateful that the plants in the garden have been soaking up this water that the Most High has been blessing the land with. And yeah, the land has been doing well. I'm excited to start planting things and help the garden flourish as much as possible, so that we can get our own food growing. Because have y'all seen that thing Bill Gates is doing? What's that thing called? Peel. Yeah, he has that new thing called Peel, and apparently it's genetically modified food, of course, but it is now considered USDA organic for some reason. That's USDA organic. So y'all have to be careful when you go to the supermarkets. I'm not sure if the food has, dispersed into all corners of these United States, but eventually it will. So when you go to the grocery store, please, 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 if it says Peel as the label, that little label on the fruit and stuff, if it says Peel and your USDA organic, that is Bill Gates' company. Please do not eat that. Honestly, if the store sells it, throw the whole store away. Really. But I rest my case. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, they do some things in this earth today with the food that you have no control over. But the amazing thing in all of that is that Bill Gates, who is not an environmentalist, who is not a farmer, who is not a member of the USDA, how did he have the authority to distribute and then put a demand on things as if he was those things, as if he had the authority to do so? That goes to show you what money will do for you in this society in which we live. There's a lot of things that's going to be coming out in the future about this guy, Bill Gates. So a whole lot of things are going to be coming out in the future about him. A lot of things for us to hear and to learn. But you be on the lookout, because, boy, you're talking about evil. It's a very, very evil thing when you start talking about blocking out the sun. You're not just causing damage to the earth itself. You're causing damage to every living thing on the planet. Because every living thing on the planet, it utilizes the sun. The only thing that don't utilize the sun is Europeans.
That's why they wear sunscreen.
Europeans try to flee from the sun. I mean, it may be good to them to a certain degree, just helping their body to function, but too much exposure to the sun is a repellent to them. It starts to destroy them, starts to kill them, and that's why they wear that sunscreen and stuff like that. Had anybody ever seen what sunscreen looks like underneath an ultraviolet light?
Yeah.
It looks black.
Yeah.
Like black skin.
Yeah.
And I was told, I don't know for sure, but I was told that it has melanin in it. And that's part of the reason why. But they utilize that to prevent the sun from attacking them and giving them what they call skin cancer or melanoma, skin cancer. So it's just amazing how someone with money, that substantial amount of money, can do something that infects the entire planet, and no government stands up against them. It's saddening.
No, he has no degree of any kind.
None.
In farming and environmental studies. This is he created windows. Like, what does that have to do with land at all? He is exactly.
It's all about his wealth. And that's cool. I don't have no problem with it. That's a wise man who hires people to do things, just like the the General Motors guy from Ford Motor Company. That's how he got started. And he would hire people who were professionals to do certain things. So whoever it is behind the background with Bill Gates in his situation, we in for some stuff, y'all. But tell you, unless the Most High steps in and completely reverse the cycle that this earth is on right now, we in trouble. So all y'all people living in them cities, I mean, it's just worse. It's not that we are any protected any different because we're in the country. It's just going to take a little longer to affect us than it's going to take to affect you. But the cities is where they aim their destruction the most. And first, because think about it, if you try to destroy a whole lot of mice, wouldn't you rather set the mice trap in the nest as opposed to out along the side of the curb where only one or two mice might go?
In the same place.
And that's what happens with the city. In the cities, we all bundled up together, but in the country, people are spread out. And that's what makes the difference. But, you know, it is what it is. So if you can, family, buy yourself some land, grow yourself some food, dig yourself a well. Because in the years to come, these things are greatly, I mean, very, very, very in the years to come, these things are going to be greatly needed and necessary. Very much so. And get yourself a greenhouse so you ain't got to worry about all this stuff falling from the sky polluting your food. Get yourself a greenhouse. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Did you have any more? Did you want to do this, Iman? You got some?
Oh, I just posted that.
Okay. Yeah, Bill Gates is something else. All right. Anyone else want to thank the Creator for anything special? And remember, family, please go like, share, and subscribe the page as well. Like, share, and subscribe. We're here. We're doing what we got to do to get this thing going. Anyone else like to thank the Most High for anything special? Brother Lamar, would you like to thank the Most High for anything special? Oh, you can't hear me? They can't hear me? Yeah.
I had on.
Okay. You got the floor, bro.
Okay. Yes, I'm thankful for waking up this morning. I'm thankful for family, loved ones. I'm thankful for just experiencing life, you know, discovering different things about myself. I'm thankful for you reaching out, Prince. And I'm going to talk about that later on today, but I'm thankful for that. I wasn't expecting that. So definitely took me on a quick journey in my mind and in my spirit. And so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for everyone that's present within the class today and get to see new faces. And shalom.
Shalom, shalom. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Is there anyone else who would like to say anything special? Thank the Creator for anything special? Give honor to this King in a special way? Is there anyone? I know we got a lot of people in the background that are not speaking, but it's okay. You can just type it in the room. But we're going to move on because we can't slow. We got a lot to do today. We have a whole lot to talk about and to discuss today. So while we're waiting for the others to come in, Aim Kater, Brother Asa, Sister Anita's here already, right? Yeah, I saw Sister Anita. She made it already. Mr. Otta is here already. Imal Sukari, Sister Gabby. Sister Gabby, you in the house, Sister Gabby? All right, Brother Asa. Shabbat Shalom, Brother Asa. Shabbat Shalom. Brother Asa, did you want to come in to the platform to do your piece, or did you want us to read it for you?
Oh, and saying for the connection to the internet.
Yeah.
Have the issues.
All right, Brother Asa, I don't. Whatever you want to do, Brother Asa, let me know. Here's the link in the room for those of you who choose to come onto the screen to speak your piece as opposed to text your piece. Anything that you're thankful for, here's the connection to the room. Okay, maybe he, I don't know if he's logging in or not. Well, let's move forward. You want to read his, if he comes in, he can do it also. You know how he do. You know, no problem with it.
Brother Asa, I'm thankful. He said, Shalom, Shalom, Beulah and Mishpaka. I'm thankful for life, food, and shelter for my family and for connection to the internet.
May the Most High be praised. Toda. All right. I assume that no one else is trying to speak or text at the time. So we're going to get started with the commandment portion. And then by the time we get started with the commandment portion, if there's any other acknowledgments to the Most High, we'll address it then. All right? So now, who would like to be first to give their commandment? I'll go first. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. And thou shalt serve no other power except the Most High thy power in truth and righteousness. Neither should thou let the name of any power be heard out of thy mouth except the Creator himself. During prayer and worship, that's my addition, during prayer and worship and giving reverence to. That's my addition, that last part. I don't see how it's possible. You can't let a name of another deity come out of your mouth, and you have to teach people about this deity, you know, and especially when you're not in person. But it is what it is. In my interpretation of that, when the Father gives that commandment, he means in prayer and worship and reverence, when you shouldn't let the name of a deity come out of your mouth. You don't give glory and honor to these deities through your mouth, through speaking. So may the Most High be praised. Brother Benjamin, Shabbat Shalom, bro. Would you like to give a commandment, Brother Benjamin? Or would you like to thank the Most High for anything special? Okay, y'all got y'all commandments ready? All right, who wants to go first?
Shabbat Shalom. Once again, my commandment is from, let's see, Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 15 and 16. And it reads, thou shalt not, for the Most High is speaking, thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto thee. He shall dwell with thee, even among you, in that place which he shall choose, it would of thy gates, where it liketh him best. Thou shalt not oppress him. So this commandment is speaking of a servant. I know it says servant and not slave. I'm not sure if there's a difference in that per se, but it says servant, so I'm going to go with servant. But that if a servant, one of your brothers or any servant escapes from his master, let's say that master is your good friend, your brother, your sister, right? But they escape from your brother, your sister. You are not to take them immediately back to them. And this makes me think, of course, us being slaves in this land for 400 years, how when we would escape our oppressors, they have slave catchers and whatever else word they would use for that, but slave catchers. And they would catch who they could and bring them immediately back, right, to that oppressive slave master. And it makes me think of that because that's exactly what the scripture is speaking of. Even in then, if
You've been on mute.
oh my gosh, I've been on mute that whole time. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Sorry, family. Salakli. I'm going to start over. My commandment is from Deborah, Deuteronomy chapter 23, verses 15 and 16. And it reads, "Thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto thee. He shall dwell with thee, even among you, in that place which he shall choose in one of thy gates, where it liketh him best. Thou shalt not oppress him." And basically, what I was saying is that this commandment reminds me of when we were slaves in this land for 400 something years, and how we would escape, and they had slave masters come and try to capture us and return us immediately back to our oppressive slave master. And it makes me think that it's really evil, vile, and I would say wicked to return a servant or a slave that escaped from that master immediately back, because you're not even giving that person, that servant, that slave, the chance to explain or express why they left in the first place, right? Because they 99% chance they could be they're leaving for a good reason, right? Maybe they're getting abused in some way, get taken advantage of in some way, you don't know. So to return that slave or that servant to that master without knowing the situation is very, very unfair and very evil. It goes against the creator, so that's evil. So if that law was being kept at that time when we were slaves in this land, we wouldn't have been returned, and we would have been, freed and had made many more advancements quite sooner. And I like the part where it says, he shall choose in one of thy gates where it liketh him best. So if that slave or that servant escapes unto your place, your house, you are supposed to allow him to pick a place that he likes within your gates. He, she, whoever it is, within your gates. You're not to oppress him. You're not to make that situation worse. You are to actually comfort him. You're to actually bring him peace and allow him to pick his own place. So I rest my case, and that is my commandment. Sure.
May the Most High be praised. She touched on a whole lot of important stuff, and then she took the time to break it down. That was good. That was good. Very good commandment. You think about it, the Creator is looking out for the slave as well as the free man. You have to look deep into these subjects when they come about. Why would the Creator put up a commandment that if a slave run away, because a slave, think about it, a slave is a man's property. If he runs away, you can't return him back to his master. It's not your responsibility, your commitment, your obligation. You're not under law to return. You don't mean that you can't. It means that you can't. You don't have to. So the thing that I'm trying to bring out right now is that the Most High is even mindful of the lowliest people on the earth that you would think of. Back in the day, they took the slaves to be the lowliest of people here in America. with this law in place, you're never to return a slave back to his master if he ran away. Because like Maisha said, if he ran away for a great reason. Who's going to run away from peace and comfort and pleasure? Who's going to run away from that? Not many people, almost no one. But the slave took it upon himself to escape, probably more than likely because of harsh and cruel punishment. So that shows us that the Father doesn't want us experiencing harsh and cruel punishment. Think about it. He has in the law, whereas if a man knocks the tooth out of the mouth of a slave, that slave is to go out for free. The reason being is because you're showing hard and cruel punishment upon your servant. So therefore, the Creator rewarded the servant with his freedom. And that's the law. These things are strange, but the Most High, I mean, it's not really strange when you think about it, but the Most High considers all living beings and not just those who serve him, because he never put a command on that slave had to be a servant of mine. He never said that. He just said that he had to be a slave being treated cruelly by his oppressor or his master. So that's just something to consider, something to think about. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Now, Brother Benjamin came in, and Brother Benjamin had put up a commandment, something that he's thankful for.
Yeah.
And I don't think we did that. So, Iman, would you like to take the floor on that?
Shalom, everyone. Shalom, everyone. Brother Benjamin's thankful is Torah for health of children. Keeping the law extends our life in health. And Alkoti Aisha says, I am thankful for the teaching of Torah. I am thankful we have a historical book of prophecies and instructions. I guess I can read her commandment. Her commandment is in Exodus, Shemot, chapter 23, verse 1. And it reads, Thou shalt not utter a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. And her explanation, lying and making false reports are pure evil. And she said also it hurts so many on several levels.
Sister Aisha, is it possible we can get you to come on the screen and talk about making false reports?
Okay. Chief Malak says we're supposed to congregate every Saturday in the physical. We are commanded by the Creator to have holy convocations. Leave the YouTube for people who can't make service, but by all means, make a holy convocation. And then, sister underneath the crown, Sister Tara says, Shabbat Shalom, Mishpaka.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, Shabbat Shalom. Long time no see. We miss you, sis. Haven't seen you in a long time. All right, Brother Oscar, you want to take that over? Brother Oscar?
Shalom, family. My commandment today is the Midbar 15:16. One Torah and one right ruling is for you and for the stranger who sojourns with you. All right. For the past 2 weeks, I was not able to connect. I was actually in the process of moving to a new home, and all praise to the Most High. I'm in a new place, for my family to be feeling stable and comfortable. While shopping, I stumbled upon a person that's wearing zits on her clothes, and she wore it different. She was explaining to me. We struck up a conversation, and she was saying her group of persons wear it a special way, different from how I wear it. But it reminds me of this command that, it's one instruction that is given to the children of Israel, but yet still we apply it so differently in some very minute ways, right? But we are to I'd love for the time to come when we can all, interpret Torah the right way, in a united way. And Torah is, for me, maybe different from others. Some person says the five books. I say it's whatever speaks from the mouth of the Creator. That for me is Torah, right? And it is for us, right? And for anybody who is in our community, whether they have a different background or not, they are to subscribe to the rules of the community that they are dwelling in. So we must ensure that we are united and we apply the judgment and the right rulings in a consistent way. That's it, basically.
All right. May the Most High be praised. That commandment that he's speaking of is another commandment that I would like to talk about a little bit. One Torah and one right ruling is for you and for the stranger that sojourn among you. Here again, we see where the Most High is considering the less fortunate. The stranger that's within the midst of you, usually when people are strangers, they're treated like outcasts. They don't get equal opportunity. They don't get equal opportunity to build, to grow, to live, to thrive, and to enjoy life. Usually, when they come into a new community, the older members of the community usually pile up together against the stranger. Or even if they don't come against them, they treat them almost like an outcast. You know what I mean? But here again, we have the Most High saying that they are to be included in this law just as you are. They're to be made citizens, equal rights, just as you are. And you're to treat them as such. May the Most High be praised. It's just so much that the Father's bringing to knowledge and to mind to the forefront today. And I'm grateful to be a part of this assembly on this holy day. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Shalom, shalom.
No.
And thank you for that commandment, Brother Asa. Brother Asa, I think there was something I wanted to ask you about. Let me look at this for a second. One Torah and one right ruling is for you and for the stranger. Yeah, what I wanted to ask you, Brother Asa, was how did that apply to the young lady you just met? You said you met the lady, so that the fringes would be all worn the same way. Is that what you meant, Brother Asa?
Well, yeah, she was telling me that, I should not just have two strings, one on each side of my pants, but I should have something going all around, right? She was the cashier and she was, I just noticed it on her. So we took the conversation. So basically she wants me to have it fully lined around my garments. So
Did she have an attitude because you had something different than her?
no, there was no attitude. She was just happy to meet me because in North Island, there's not many persons, we can really recognize with. So we were happy to each other, and we actually exchanged contacts for me and her husband to talk. So it was good, but she was saying that she recommends she just noticed that mine is not fully going around, and it's something that she would want her husband and I to discuss.
Did you send them the link so they can come into the class?
I didn't get the call from the person, but I know it's a place that I go regularly, so I'll share the link.
Yeah, because
once we connected on phone, I'll share the link.
Where you are, there's probably very few people in the knowledge, but you can help spread that knowledge,
Yes.
All right, Toda Rabbah. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
Be praised.
All right. I believe she's speaking to you, Brother Asa, Sister Ornette, saying congratulations, you moved to your new place. All right. Anyone else? Was it another one for you to read? I'm sorry, your law? Okay. Okay.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, family. My law can be found in the book of Numbers, all right, the Midbar, chapter 19, verse 11. And it reads, He that toucheth the dead, even any man's dead body, shall be unclean 7 days. Going into verse 12, the same shall purify himself therewith on the third day and on the seventh day, and he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself the third day and the seventh day, he shall not be clean. And I opened my book, and this is the law that it landed on. The whole concept of the law, how the waters of purification was made, and everything can be found in that whole chapter. The whole chapter of 19, Numbers 19, speaks on the whole aspect of laws of purification with the waters of purification. And it talks about stepping on a grave and all those different things. And so for me, it's just a reminder, of course, that we don't have the actual waters of purification, but what we do here in our community, which I know stems from years of practice with Temple Kifarim, but here in Beulah land, we actually go into practice as well with it, with a memorialization or a practice of water of purifications. So like when my father passed away in the house here on the land, myself, another sister who was in the house, my daughters were all sprinkled on the third day and the seventh day, and the house itself was sprinkled as well. So that just to acknowledge that we are doing our best to abide by the Most High's laws, because we know that we don't have a Levite year, we don't have certain methods of doing exactly what we did in our lands. But a lot of the things that we do now is to practice. And as we continue to practice and pass these statutes and laws and commandments and traditions down to our children, whenever the Most High sees fit and bring us back to our land, then it'll be something that's innate in them to continue, and they're able to do it in the right format at that time. So I'm grateful for the law and the practice that, that we have taken up that practice. Say who?
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Total Rabbah. All right. Anyone else? Was there any other ones? I think that might be it. Brother Lamar. Bang. Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Leviticus 19 and 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. I am Yah.
What's your explanation of that?
That these things, a vengeance, holding on to a grudge, and a lack of love, they become heavy. And speaking to not being burdened with these spirits and a mindset against the children of the Most High's people, you know. So just speaking to the weight that it has on one's mind, heart, and spirit to carry those things around. Grudges can go deep for years and years and years amongst all types of peoples, brothers and sisters, uh, parents and children. So just the weight of that, and then people pass away with the weight, you know, And so that's what I get from that, to not carry that around, because it definitely will affect you as well as the interaction amongst people and the
Absolutely.
whole spirit of the community.
Absolutely. Will destroy it all, the whole purpose of it. May the Most High be praised. Excellent command, excellent explanation. Total Rabbah.
So,
Wow. Ima,
Shalom once again. Going to read M. Sukari's law. The law can be found in the book of Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 4, verse 4. So, and her law reads, yes, her law reads, but ye that did cleave unto the Creator for your power are alive, every one of you this day. And her explanation is the Most High delivers us still today in battles daily. We must continue the practice of the law. Yes.
would you like to elaborate on this, Brother Asa?
Oh yes, that's in support of the command shared by Brother Lamar. That bearing any grudges. It's natural that if someone in the community goes off, or don't do something that's not in alignment with what you believe, then there are things will come up that will cause bad blood, right? But we are to ensure that we seek to protect the unity of the community.
I like that. Protect the unity of the community.
Yeah,
I didn't know you was a rapper too, bro.
I tell you, I'll try.
Hey, Mr. Otter. Mr. Otter put up something very important, extremely important. And I have a different take than a lot of people on what vengeance is. Mr. Otter, would you like to come and explain this yourself, Mr. Otter, before I put some words on you and you ain't saying it? Mr. Otter, would you like to explain it yourself? You usually do a good job explaining your own words. And Prince be done butchered something up, said what he feel, and in your mind be somewhere else. But I'll give my opinion afterwards, after you clear it up for me, Mr. Otter, whether you want to speak or you want me to speak on it. Well, I'll give you my take until explain, Prince, because I'm actually in service. Okay, all right, total Rabah. May the Most High be praised. Vengeance belongs to the Creator. Now that's a nice way to give an explanation of what we see vengeance being. Now I want to do something real quick. Want to do something real quick. Just give me 1 second. Here we go. There's the word vengeance. And as we see, vengeance means punishment inflicted or retribution exacted for an injury or someone they wrong you in some type of way. Voters are ready to wreak vengeance on all politicians. Then it says, with vengeance, used to emphasize the degree to which something occurs or is true. All right. So now that's the word for vengeance. And that's pretty much like how most of us understand vengeance to be. In my opinion, and I say this because I've seen it through scriptures a whole slew of times. Someone would do something to somebody, and then they go out and they revenge the death or any type of thing, the punishment or whatever's taking place. Like, I give you an example, a live example. David was out on a run, running from Saul. And when David was on a run, running from Saul, he had 600 men with him. And a man named Nabal had his sheep out in the fields. And people was coming and they was messing with Nabal's sheep, stealing his sheep and killing his men. And David and his 600 men protected Nabal's sheep from people coming and stealing and taking and trying to rob him. So Nabal's men make it back home to Nabal. And then there came a time when David was in need. And he sent to Nabal, requesting of Nabal to just send him some food and water so his men can survive, because remember, they was on a run. Nabal said no. Nabal laughed at him, called him all kind of names, old stupid fool, all types of stuff. I'm paraphrasing again. Called him all types of names and stuff and teased him. Nabal's wife, Abigail, she said, "Oh, why are you doing this?" Nabal was nasty to people that was good to him. And David got angry. David sat on his ass and grabbed his sword with a few good men, and he went to kill Nabal and take what he felt he deserved. Now, was that vengeance? In my opinion, it was vengeance. Now, after David had his revenge on a whole slew of people, he always thanked the Creator afterwards. To me, vengeance is not what people think vengeance is when it says, "Thou shalt not take vengeance on people." In my opinion, if someone does something wrong for you, then that's correct. The law says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If someone does something evil and wicked and unjust to you, and you decide that you want to exact judgment upon them, in my opinion, if you exact judgment upon them and you're successful, it's because the Creator allowed you to be successful. And if you're not successful, it's because the Creator didn't want nothing to happen to that individual. That's my opinion. That vengeance belongs to the Most High? Yes, it does. But in my opinion, it means if the Creator allows it to be, it's going to be. Just don't overdo it. Because if you overdo it in your vengeance and it didn't call for all that, you're in trouble. So that's just my opinion. If the Creator's allowed it, then it was the Creator's vengeance. Absolutely. That's how I take it. That's how I understand it to be when Scripture says vengeance belongs to the Most High. And if you can look all through Scriptures and you'll see things of that similar nature in reference to individuals who took vengeance for the death of whatever wrong was done to them. May the Most High be praised. And that's just Prince's opinion. That's all. It's just my opinion. All right? All right. Where was we at now? Was we looking for another commandment? Did anyone else have another commandment they wanted to present? Oh, wow. We reached that point of the day. I did. Oh, Mr. Otter couldn't come on. Sister Asha. Sister Aisha. Where you at, Sister Aisha? Sister Aisha, are you going to give that explanation of what you spoke about earlier? If not, it's cool. It's all right. You don't have to. I was just asking if you did, because I know that when we speak in person, it's always better. We elaborate better. We come to the conclusion better. We express ourselves better, and people understand us better but it's okay if you choose not to do so. May the Most High be with you. All right, Brother Lamar, you ready? You ready?
I'm glad.
It sounds funny to me too, man. But that I don't call you that, and I don't address you that way. It's only because we're here and you're requesting that, so that's why I'm doing what it is that I'm doing. Maybe you have a portion in your lesson you want to break out to the people. I don't know, but I don't want to interfere with whatever your process is. All right. So,
Yes,
all right,
class starts now.
yeah, I'm ready to bring you up. All right, family.
Oh,
So
wow.
at this time, we're gonna have Moray, Brother Lamar, to come up and do his presentation. So may we all stand, please. May the Most High be praised.
Shalom,
I don't know.
family.
I don't know if you need to clean your screen or if your Wi-Fi is low, but you're fuzzy. I don't know which one
I'm
it is.
fuzzy right now.
Yeah, it's like you got a weak signal or something. But your screen just may be dirty. I don't know. The screen? Is that what it is? The screen?
I'm on my iPad.
Oh, that might be it too. I don't know. Yeah, he's cleaning it now. All right.
Is it still fuzzy?
It's a lot better. Hey, look. Lick your finger a little bit, wipe the screen, and then wipe it off. I mean, turn your head. Don't let nobody see you sticking your finger in your mouth. Turn your head to the side. There you go. There you go. That's how you do it.
I'm gonna try Wi-Fi.
No, it did look a lot better when you cleaned it, though. Sister Viata, Shabbat Shalom, Sister Viata. Shabbat Shalom. May the Most High be with you, sis. Sister Viata, I sent you the number to a lady who's a real estate agent that I thought would be a good person for you to interview. I don't know if you reached out to her, but if you reach out to me later, I'll make sure you can make that
I'm on
connection.
Wi-Fi.
Much better. Much better. Much better. Oh, wait a minute. It ain't moving now. If you're saying anything, we can't hear you at all. And your screen looks like it's frozen. Shalom.
You say something?
Yeah, go ahead. We couldn't hear you, and your screen looked like it's frozen. Or is that me?
No, it's us because mine is turning.
All of mine is turning.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Is it the Wi-Fi people? They interfering with us? There we go.
It's off now too.
Everybody got kicked off. He got kicked out. All right, maybe he's going to come back in. Well, my screen is frozen now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he's okay. Here he is. He's coming in now. He's logging back on. All right, you got it. Go for it.
All right. Okay. So as I said, shalom, shalom. And today's topic, whew, are you prepared to sit in the seat of judgment? Wow, 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 wow. So I want to start by saying I was surprised when Prince reached out to me Thursday and asked me to teach. It's been a while. In fact, I feel like I'm in a state of retirement. I've been in a state of retirement. Today's lesson is going to uncover a lot of my journey on this earth. And I chose to use myself as an example um, to bring forth this message. But I've been in retirement. I haven't stood before people or shared my thoughts in this capacity in a long time. And the fact of it being on YouTube, that's a whole nother new area, you know, technical difficulties and not being in the midst of people. So you got to bear with me in terms of all of this is like kind of like new again. But when Prince reached out, I thought about it and I told him I have to check my spirit. So all day yesterday, I was just open to hearing my own thoughts, other people's conversations, past conversations in life. I was just open to see if I could show up today. And the whole day went by, and then as the evening came about, uh, the topic dropped in my spirit. I already know what to say. I already know my meditations, but the topic. And then from last night, I text Prince and let him know that I think I can try. And then from last night, all morning, I just been in heavy meditation and reading and reflecting. And, you know, I really put my heart into what I'm going to share. So I ask that, and I pray that everything goes well, the connection. And I know that this is being recorded, right? So people can refer back to it. That's a good thing. But what I do ask is if we can take out our notebooks or our phones and just take down the questions that I'm going to present and some of the quotes that I have written up in my presentation. And then any questions, if time permits. So, this lesson can be real short, right? It can be the shortest lesson ever. As I thought about it, because if I'm a man that have a lot of struggles, if I'm a man that is contemplating, the hardships of life, and I need to find answers, someone can say, I can even say, just go make prayer and talk to the Most High, put it in the hands of the Most High, right? Any of my thoughts, my fears, situations that I may be in, and then, but the depth of my thoughts, I may never share. And if I take that approach, this class wouldn't be long. It would be short. Actually, I can say shalom now because in many ways, I am that man. And in many ways in life, I did go inside and make prayer and have conversations with the Most High about just all types of topics and circumstances. But then it came a point in my journey that I realized a different approach was needed. And at that moment, you know, life and my thoughts and circumstances and how to deal with hard questions, hard realities, the depth of it is just opened up. And that's what I want to share with y'all. I want to share the process, the journey of this seat that I'm talking about, the seat of judgment. What is that? Because I've been in it, I'm in it, but what is it in terms of being a part of the journey of life, as opposed to just going internally? I think I want to share that journey so that if anyone in my hearing ever experienced the same thing, you know, these words of encouragement, this outline that I put together, this lesson that I put together can become useful. Um, this class also is, I don't want to think about it as a sad moment. It can be a joyous moment depending on how I reflect. But it feels like a farewell. But I have to be honest, I have to be honest about where I'm at in life. And as I thought about what to share, you know, all of this came to me. And I didn't want to not respond to Prince's call. So, I'm just going to share from my heart and just be honest with the people of Israel, the Most High, and use myself as an example. Um, as Prince said earlier, I've known we go way back, even before I was 14, even before I started this journey of seeking truth and understanding things. We lived on the same block. I grew up on the block. So I've known of him all my life. But from 14 to now, I'm 45. That 30-year journey, 31, 30 year, that journey has been ups and downs, top of the mountain, valleys, low points. And on that journey, what keeps me grounded is when I started. And when I started, I remember wanting to find truth, having a desire at a young age to find truth, understand what God was, understand what the Bible was talking about, just religion in general. I wanted to understand. And I wasn't a heavy church person, but at a young age, I was seeking to know God, to know the Most High, to know the Creator, to know what life and the meaning of life. And it started briefly, it started in church. And that's because of just life. My mom went to church, her sisters. So that was the first place. And briefly had a little time with Islam, just briefly, and Farrakhan mainly, just listening to Farrakhan. And but at a young age, just asking questions, and then I came across Israel. In this time frame in my life of seeking truth, it's a small space, Christianity, Islam, and Israel. I could say no more than a year time. But when I settled on Israel, when I reintroduced myself to Kaz, and when I decided to land on Israel, I stayed up to this point. So it's been a journey. Um, but like I said earlier, I feel like I'm coming out of retirement to do this because I haven't spoke or taught in this manner. But Israel has taught me a lot. It's my foundation, and it prepared me to understand the seat that I'm going to talk about. It prepared me for judgment, and explain what I understand judgment to be. But it prepared me. So as I reflected yesterday, I went back to my foundation to find answers to bring about this lesson. Um, I settled on Israel, and Prince, he's been a major point in my life, a reference point. And at this time, I just want to thank you for calling me, because I know that you didn't have to. I don't know why you called, but I still want to thank you. I know it's needed. I thank you for all the conversations that we had. I thank you for the ups and downs. And I thank you um, for being there in my life in a way where when conflict arises, you taught me that I don't have to go in a negative direction. I don't have to do that. And just throughout life, I remember different points. But that's a major thing. So in our times apart, you know, I still always loved you, right? And I respect you. So I thank you for calling on me at this time. But all of that, everything taught me something. Everything taught me something and prepared me for this moment. Uh, and I take that, and as I said, I go to my foundation. I'm going to be reading from Psalms 55. Psalms 55 and 1. It says, "Give ear to my prayer, O God, O Elohim, and hide not thyself from my supplication." I'm going to read that again. I'm actually going to start over. Psalms 55. In the heading, it says, "To the chief musician on Negiot Mashkel, a psalm of David. Give ear to my prayer, O God, O Elohim, and hide not thyself from my supplication." What's interesting about this is that who the Psalms is being addressed to. It says it's the Psalm of David, but it's being addressed to the chief musician. And I am a musician. When I discovered music, I loved it. Um, and I dedicated my time and my life to understanding music. I'm not a singer or anything like that, but I love music. I dedicated myself to understanding truth. I dedicated myself to the Most High in my youth, my adult years. I've given myself my mind, my time. So when I listen and read musician, that stands out to me, because I remember where I started from, just loving music and the journey that I've been on and trying to understand how songs are written. Not just any kind of songs, but hit songs. It's a journey. And then, like, in reference to God, in reference to the Most High, in reference to the Creator, and just, those kind of understandings, it made me really go back and say, wow, I really dedicated my time to figure things out. Music, I'm getting there. Spirituality, it's been a journey. So when David says to the chief musician, he's going to a place, and I feel like I've understand that place because of the life that I lived. So as a musician, I'm gonna use the guitar as the example. When you live in life and you're trying to come up with a song, it needs to be in tune because an out of tune song, it doesn't reach to the point where it connects with the soul. Something is off when it's out of tune. So you have to have your instrument in a tuned position in order for the frequency, the notes, the vibration to do what it's supposed to do, which is to connect, to make the connection. You have to be in tune. And as we all know, there's been times with David that we fell out of tune with the Most High, out of tune with people. And, some of these Psalms are his reflection. So when I began to read the header, it's a lot of times where it's being addressed to the chief musician. It just made me reflect and think about, because they also say that Psalms are songs, but it just made me realize the importance of having a tuned instrument. That tuned instrument is also who we are as people, our lives, our choices, decisions that we make in life can cause us to be in tune or out of tune, out of sync with our own selves, our families, the Creator. And then sometimes it becomes hard to get back in alignment, to get back in tune. Sometimes your guitar can go so out of tune it could become warped, where you may have to get a new guitar. But nevertheless, it needs to be in tune. And look at these sounds as a way to tune up your instrument, to tune up your thoughts, to tune up your life. When things are out of tune. But this particular sounds stands out to me because it says, give ear to my prayer, O Elohim, and hide not thyself from my supplication. I remember being young and making prayer and talking to the Creator. And any questions, anything that I didn't understand, I remember going. Because that's how it's taught. That's the understanding. That you go and you make prayer and you take your thoughts and the things that you're going through and you have that communion with the Creator. You know, you take your deepest thoughts, your secrets, your fears, your confusions, right? But in order to do that, you know, we all have been taught that we will want the Most High to hear and to deliver, to give ear, right? To respond. And the same thing with David. Give ear to my prayer and hide not thyself. Because sometimes in this process, the Most High, it seems as though his face is removed. It seems as though there's a hiding that's taking place when you make prayer and the answer don't come. You know, sometimes it takes long when you want things or when you're trying to figure out things. And that whole process can cause people's faith to crumble. It can strengthen your faith as well, that process. But when the Most High hides his face from you, or when those answers are not coming, you know, an answer is one of the most powerful things on this planet. To have an answer to a thing, to a question, and that answer don't come. Even with loved ones, right? When you just want to know why. Why did something happen? Can you explain? You know, we long for answers. We long for answers. So if you can imagine taking issues or questions to the Most High, the one that we all say is the creator of all things, and his face is hid from us. Can you imagine what that feels like? You know? So David is going and he's pleading to not hide the Most High's face. Give ear to that prayer, right? And hide not thyself from my supplication. But the question that I began to ask myself in my journey of life and seeking truth wasn't just for the Creator in terms of hearing. I began to ask, Am I hearing my prayer? Am I hearing my supplication? Am I listening to my own thoughts? Am I listening to my own questions, my own contemplations? And when I ask myself that question, those questions, life changed for me. And I just want to share that process because when my life changed, it put me in a seat. And that seat is one that I realize I can't be afraid of. It's one that isn't always pretty. It's hard. It's hard to judge. It's hard to be judged. It's hard to face failure. It's joyous to be successful in things, but it's hard sometimes it's hard to admit your wrongs. Can become hard. It's hard to sometimes be at odds with people. It's hard to be in positions to need and not have a way out, right? It's hard for people to look upon you and talk about you and having to bear. It's hard to deal with lies. It's so many things that become difficult to deal with when judgment is in the presence. So, but it changed my life. It made me even more strong. It made me even more powerful in my own spirit because that seat taught me lessons. That seat prepared me. So when I began to ask myself, am I listening to my own communions? It changed my life. And then I began to dig deeper. I began to dig deeper. And when I dug deeper, it started in Hebrew. It started in Hebrew. It really opened up meanings and worlds to me. And if I'm not mistaken, it was this Psalms. It's multiple Psalms that I remember going through, but if I'm not mistaken, it was this Psalms. So, give me 1 second. All right. So, the word for prayer, and that's the Hebrew word for prayer in Psalms 51, is tipalau. Let me see if I can spell it out for y'all. I'm gonna say Tipela. Oh, this is my prayer. Well, Lahte or Tipalah. Tipalau. That's the word for prayer that we may all be familiar with. But that word it's not in its rawest form. It's a verb and it's being conjugated, meaning it's going through a tense. It's either past, present, or future, the way it's written. So it's already conjugated to denote something. It's not in a simple verb form. And in particular, it says my prayer. So it's denoting something that David, or in this particular situation, David, Dawid, but it's in the word itself is in the form where it requires the person to do the act. And but when you begin to do research on the word, it just shows, it says prayer, to do something, to make prayer. But as I dug deeper into the root of it, without it being conjugated, it made it clear to me, made this lesson clear to me. A lot of things became clear. And the word is palau, the root word to tipalau is palau. And I'm gonna spell that Pilal, palau. And that's the root word to the word prayer, which is tipalau, right? And palau is unconjugated, and one of the first definitions is to judge. And from that, I asked myself, after meditating on it, I asked myself, because it was immediately different to me. That understanding of prayer just became immediately different when I seen the word judge, right? And as I went into myself, I asked myself these questions. I said, if it means judge or to judge, then I said, who's judging? Who's doing the judging? What's being judged? Right? Who's doing the judging? And what's being judged? And I just began to meditate on those two questions. And, you know, in the journey, it all began to make sense. And my answer became myself. Because I started off asking myself, am I listening to my prayers? Right? I began to ask myself that question. And then understanding the verb and how words are put together in Hebrew, it just began to make it even more clear to me. And then when I seen judge and I began to ask myself those other questions, I settled on and put myself as the judge. And then I began to put my the things that I'm making prayer about on the table. I began to do that. And it wasn't in a way to remove the Most High, but it was done in a way to confront myself, because it became a point where, just in life, as I contemplate, I began to ask, do people really hear the things that they ask for? Do they really position themselves to receive the things that they ask for? Do they really deserve the things that they ask for? I just began to contemplate this whole moment, right? Because sometimes you can ask for things and you do not need it, right? You just can be asking. So it just made me want to be an active member in the process and not just leave it, right? And then another development happened, which was I began to really look back at the word prayer, tipalau, to understand the form, the tense that it was in. And this is a little Hebrew grammar, but it's important because y'all can go back and develop it, or think about it, study it more. But it's in the form of hit palau. And the hit palau is what they call a reflective tense. In other words, it requires the person to do something. I actually have a definition that I want to share. Reflective, reflexive. The hit palau is a reflective tense. It indicates, or the meaning of the subject performs the action upon itself. A reflective verb means where the subject performs the action upon itself. All right? That's the form that it's in. Because when you think about it, if you're making prayer and you never change, or you never think about the things to position yourself, then really, what is it for? Right? When you really, really think about it, when you really think about growth and development and change, if you do not put yourself in a position to challenge yourself, to correct yourself in the process, what is it all worth? A lot of things I realize it's easier to put on the Most High, you know. But when the real work is required, that's where that's where things get shaky. And I just want to do the work, right? And I'm not afraid of the work. And that work is preparing me for the different levels in life. But it all started with understanding that I have to bring myself into what I understood prayer to be, in a way and at a level that I've never understood it to be, right? Because you can go make prayer and confess and talk about the changes. And then you can get up and be the same old person. And that never set well with me in life, how that happens and why that happens. Set me on a journey. And I try to be, if I'm going to change, if I'm going to make a change in life, if I realize I needed to change, then I have to do that. And that's the kind of person that it makes me feel better in life when I can accomplish the things that I set my mind to. It makes me feel better in life to correct myself because it positions me in the best position, right? And I don't want to be a failure. I want my word to be bond, integrity, you know. I want to know where I made a mistake at, and I want to be able to correct it. Those things are important. And I realize when you really begin to do the inner work, that's where the growth can really begin. When you really do the inner work and not be afraid to know yourself, the good, the bad, the indifferent, the beautiful, the ugly, right? Not just know it in a way where it's in the back of your mind or it comes out in certain situations, but to be in a state where you constantly bring yourself into the seat of judgment. I personally began to appreciate that because it allows me to grow in a real way. And it's like not being afraid to look at the ugly. If there's ugly at the moment that you're in, if there's a monster, you understand what I'm saying? To look at it, but also to look at the good and to weigh your actions. It became a rewarding thing. And it also says, going back to the scripture, says, O Elohim, hide not thyself from my supplication. Supplication is it's a form of being gracious. The word itself, the meaning itself, has a different connotation to prayer. It lends towards being gracious. So all of this process is done before the Most High, right? What I'm sharing, it's a process that's done before the Most High. It's done in life, right? It's done in the midst of creation. When you really think about it, right? Where can you really hide? Where can you really hide? People hide in their thoughts, but where can you really hide? So this process of communion, having communication, is always present. The earth is listening. The heavens are listening. It's all of the energies in life that's present. It's listening. It's watching the process that we go through, right? People are watching. People are watching your actions. People are watching your behaviors. We're always being watched in a way where the things that we think about, they begin to manifest, right? But in that process, you have to be able to take a form of grace, to be gracious, to be kind into the judgment, because we can become harsh on ourselves in that process. We can beat up ourselves in the process of revealing to ourselves who we are, our shortcomings, right? So you have two sides. You have the judgment side, and then you have the gracious side. And when you have all the tools, then you can make the proper judgment on whatever it is that you are, quote unquote, making prayer about, right? So let's say, and I'm taking, using myself as example. So you take yourself, you take an issue, and you do your normal prayer and normal communication with the Creator, right? Whether it be a formal prayer or you just thinking or communicating within yourself, but you take an issue, right? Say an issue of your environment, the people, your close loved ones, right? You take that issue. You take that issue and you say, what effects does it have on me? The environment that I'm in, a relationship, what effects is it having on me? Is it making me a better person? Is it making me a worse person? Is it changing me in ways where I'm no longer able to see the best in me, right? And you take that and then you begin to ask yourself a whole list of questions, right? And I want to share some things with us. The importance of looking inward. Why is it important to look inward? Why is it important to look inward? Why is it important to judge yourself? Why is it important? Self-reflection. Self-reflection is the practice of examining our thoughts, behaviors, and motivations to align with our highest purpose. Greatest thing that one of the greatest things we do is to, but sometimes that's where ugly lives at. I'm getting a error, a recording error.
Yeah, I think either you dropping signals or we're dropping signal because you went out.
Did
You
I
went
just
out.
go out?
Your voice went out, distorted for a second.
Okay.
Give it a shot and see if you're back yet.
Reflection is the practice of examining our thoughts, behaviors, and motivation to align with our highest purpose. You can hear that?
It was reflection about realigning yourself to a higher purpose, but it was broken up. So if you can start back at that point, yeah, you sound good now. So if you start back at that point, we should be cool.
This is another thing, I can't gauge what was said or what's heard.
Okay.
So it's very interesting.
Is there any way?
But
Is there any way?
I was saying the importance of looking within.
Okay. Yes. Is there? Can you see the Wi-Fi signal on your computer?
Of examining our thoughts, behaviors, and motivations to align with our highest purpose. Self-reflection can become hard because now you have to look at yourself, right? But it's one of the greatest things that we can do is to reflect on ourselves, right? Another, why does it matter? Because without reflection, we risk staying stagnant, missing opportunities for growth. When you don't reflect, when you don't reconsider a lot of things that you do on the table, right? So reflection, self-reflection. And in that self-reflection, you begin to ask questions, right? Growth requires honesty. And most of the times, we have to ask ourselves questions that's going to challenge our comfort zones, right? It's going to challenge where we at in our spiritual development, where we at in our relationships, where we at in our growth and development. Hard questions like, what fears are holding us back? How have I heard myself, my actions or inactions? How have I heard this or myself through my actions or inactions? You know? Not just how have someone hurt me, but how have I hurt someone else? Another point, because prayer was always thought of as being a form of intercession, right? You take the issue before the Most High. But the shift that assists growth, and as I is when I began to really zero in on my own, like asking myself the question. Then take yourself through the process. Right. So making intercession for past mistakes. So you got self-reflection, past mistakes. forgiveness, right? You got forgiveness, amends. Those are two things I wanted to discuss on past mistakes. People are, it's hard to forgive. It's hard to be honest about forgiveness. But yet, that's one of the most things that we ask for when people make prayer to the Most High is forgiveness. But when it comes to ourselves, to forgive, does that right? Does it really tell why? If you have a heart and that heart is hard, got a hard heart, and it's hard to forgive, why are you like that? Life has caused you to become a hard heart, you know. And the whole thing is just going in and asking yourself, am I willing to bring this issue under judgment? Am I really willing to become a fact finder in the issue? Or is it easy for me to judge it or stay on the surface? My next point, so you have self-reflection, making intercession for past mistakes, like creating a space where you begin to question your quality of forgiveness and making amends, because it requires those two things. Sometimes you have to make amends because you could be the one that's guilty, and sometimes the action of you need for, right? Amends, making amends, and having forgiveness. The next is creating eternal space for growth in the mind. You know, just like if you're living in a junky space, in order to be able to see things clearly, find the thing that you're looking for, can be as simple as cleaning or decluttering the space that you're in. Answers work the same way, but we have to sometimes admit that we have a whole areas in our own minds and hearts that becomes cluttered, right? So take the process and to reflect on your own state of your mind and your thoughts, right? To declutter the mind, right? And to put things in its proper space, because a room that's a junky room, everything is all over the place. Ask yourself, where are your thoughts? Where are your thoughts? How do you think? How are you thinking? Are you thinking out of sequence? Can you find
Shalom.
and shalom?
Hey, can you try moving around a little bit because the signal is dropping? Family, I don't know in the audience. Is it the signal on his end or is it my computer that's dropping? Because you're going in and out from what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
not. Yeah, I don't see myself going in and out.
your signal's good.
Yes.
You got bars on top of your computer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see
And
like
my
this.
my screen
The what?
is clear.
See like right now, I can't hear you now. You're going in and out right now. I'm trying to see if somebody in the audience can let me know if it's my computer or yours. Because if they hear the same thing, then it would be yours. But if they don't hear that, then it's me. But great lesson. Continue on. Just try to move a little bit or something. Like move your computer forward, backwards, to the side or something. But nobody's responding in the room. But go ahead. Keep going, please.
Yes.
See that's also what happens when you're getting some powerful messages. Somebody from somewhere, somehow, mysteriously, always seems to mess up some kind of way so we can't get that powerful message. All right, give it a shot. See if we can hear you now.
What I was saying was, you can hear me?
You're still messed up. You're still distorted.
I am.
Yeah, like a robot going in and out. Can you go forward? Can you
Yeah.
slide the table forward some maybe? Or to the side, to the left or the right? You by a window, crack the window maybe? The signal is usually better than, I
Win-
don't know.
Window is cracked. I can hear you clearly.
You see, I can hear you right now. I'm good. So let's go forward. Let's just go. Do your thing.
Um,
Now, we just had some real serious technical difficulty. They kicked me completely out, froze my screen. See, that's how you know when you're getting a good lesson. Because out of nowhere, mysteriously, your computer start acting up. First it was the brothers, now it's mine. The computer starts acting up so that the lesson can go forward. But he's going to be back in a few, and we're going to continue on with that dynamical lesson. Speaking about self-reflection, you know, most people in today's world are not honest with themselves. And a lot of the errors that they have is because they're not being honest and not putting forth the effort to be the best version of themselves, even though they know that they have those shortcomings or those bad behaviors or traits. And that's what he's trying to, at least that's what I'm getting from the lesson. That's what he's trying to speak on. About self-reflection, about us being honest with ourselves. When we go before the Most High, how often are you really honest with the things that you say unto the Most High? You know, are you really doing your very best to be your best? It's so much. A lot of us know that we shouldn't be doing certain things that we still do. A lot of us do things that we know we shouldn't do. A lot of us have eternal battles and struggles with ourselves because we're not being honest in the first place with our environment, with our lifestyle, with our desires, with our likes. And therefore, we begin to live in a delusional state, thinking one thing when really the truth is something completely different. So here we have him logging in now. He's coming in. As soon as he's fully back in, we're going to have him come back to the stage where he can continue his teaching. But a lot of us are in a delusional state, lying to ourselves while lying to the Creator about what we're doing, how we're living. Yes, honest reflection. And this is largely why Israel is in the condition that we're in today, because a lot of us are not honest. Some of us are users, some of us are abusers, some of us are manipulators in a negative sense. Some of us are bums when we just want to live off the coattails of somebody else and not really put forth any effort of our own into bringing about any change in life, in our reality or the reality of others. But it don't have to be that way, because once you realize that you have this shortcoming in life, you can take control of that and do the opposite of what you've been doing. You don't always have to be a user. You don't have to always be a bum. You don't always have to be a beggar. You know, you can change the trajectory of your life and become a different individual, a different soul. But in all of this process, the first and key ingredient is you have to be real with yourself. You have to be an honest person. And if you're not an honest person, you're not going to receive the blessings from the Creator on a level that you should receive them. Honesty is key. Honesty is extremely important. You know, he spoke about when he would lie down and go before the Almighty, to Pilau in him with judgment, or Tipilau, the judgment portion, allowed him to know that he had to begin to make judgment on himself first before he can bring judgment on anyone else. So you have to ask yourself, are you prepared to sit in the seat of judgment Because if you haven't checked yourself, then you're not really ready to check anyone else. Because you yourself has not given yourself over to the spirit of correction. So if you haven't given yourself over to the spirit of correction, how are you going to be open to correct somebody else in their errors, in their shortcomings, and in their times? Very, very, very good lesson. You know, it's very fulfilling. You know, it's almost as if we went back to the foundation of what needs to be done to serve the Creator. The Most High already knows our shortcomings. He already knows the wickedness that we have upon us. But how much of that do we confess to Him? And then after we confess that to the Creator, do we get up and become a new individual, a new soul, a new life to give newness and greatness to the Creator? Or do we get up and lie during our prayer and then get up off the floor and do whatever it is that we choose to do, contrary to the word and the promise that we just made with the Most High? Which one are we? Who are we? And which one do we do? It's a lot of considering, a lot of contemplation to really understand. And the Most High gives us all that opportunity to be able to see, know, and understand our shortcomings. But how many of us are really ready to take on that challenge of becoming a better soul, a better individual? Everyone's not ready for that. But yet, most people are quick to judge the actions of others, but they're not really ready in position spiritually to be able to do that, because while they're out judging the actions of others, they have so many things in their lives that are out of order. I like the way that he put the guitar or the piano. If they're out of tune, they can't bring any healing to your soul. Or the more they're out of tune, the less healing they bring. But if you finely tune any instrument that you're playing and then you play it, it's a soothing that comes over the soul. Same thing with your environment. If your environment is nasty, chaotic, out of order, dirty, you can't properly move in your proper spirit, no matter how hard you try. Now, once you clean that environment and put everything in its proper place, you have a better opportunity of moving in your proper spirit, because you have organized and you have structured things the way that they are needing. All right, you look better. I know you're gonna sound better. Oh yeah, strong. Go ahead. You got this. May the Most High be praised.
All right, what I was saying was, I don't know what was missed but can we make a little adjustment? At this point, can I get some feedback to what was heard, what was understood, what just like that? I wanna pick up from there. I wanna start there.
We just went down that whole list of everything that you was teaching and how you was presenting things, talking about the soul, actually the spirit of man, being honest with himself. You know, being honest as he go before the Most High. Is he really in the seat of judgment if he hasn't been honest with the Creator?
Now I can't hear you. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, it's about men being honest with themselves when they go before the Creator. Their shortcoming, their evil deeds, you know, the things that they do wrong. And then they're quick to judge somebody else, but they themselves are full of dirt and guilt and sinful lives. And Ima Sukari said, honest reflection is what it is that you're teaching about. People to give themselves as much scrutiny as they give to someone else. How's that for a summary?
That's perfect. That's perfect. And all of that, it intensified when the meaning opened up through the word itself. It just intensified. It just took my mind, my life in a different direction. Um, it intensified the action, and that's what I wanted to bring out. And then for myself, I created an outline to, it's like a map in the process, because just it's not just an honest reflection, but it's how do you do that honest reflection, right? It's like I think about it as creating a reference to um, to go through the process, because um, you know we tend to forget. We tend to, like you were saying, put everybody else in the seat of judgment, and we revert back to that mode of operation. But when you really begin to do the work and the discipline of it all, uh, having a way to engage through an outline, a course, you know, um, writings is important. So that's another aspect that I just wanted to share. That for myself, I created an outline, and I have quotes for myself. You know, I have um, analogies to make this a real thing, to make um, this honest self reflection real in my life. So that's another thing, and I just wanted to share those things, and then people can write down and take this and internalize the message, and then as you begin to read back in the scriptures, maybe the word and understanding of prayer can become even deeper.
I don't think he's saying anything right now.
Do anybody have any questions or any statements to share?
Anyone have any questions or statements? Aim says, this is the crown mother of our community, Aim Katir. She says, this is one of the most authentic presentations on reflection and judgment I've heard in a while. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Are there any other questions or comments? Ayman, you want to say something? You put it where? Oh. She says, this has been a beautiful presentation and humbly executed. That's his middle name. He can't help that. That's his middle name. That's how he moves. Yeah. Yeah, that's where he gets you. That's where he traps you in. So you hear and understand his lesson. His approach is the key to his lessons. Some people loud and boisterous. Well, they attract those people who are attracted to loud and boisterous people. And then there are some who have that slow pitch, that fine-tuned sound, and that's where he's at. And he attracts more people in that manner because he's calm, he's collective, and he speaks from the heart. So it makes all the difference. Yes. Are there any other questions or comments, family? Did you have any other things you want to say?
A negative comment?
Yeah, get your
I think I
Wi-Fi.
seen one.
Get your
I think
Wi-Fi.
no. Besides that, I
Huh?
I can't confirm or deny because I can't see it. You know, so y'all have to bear with me. I don't know. I don't know how it looks on the other side.
You know, with me,
But I
it was.
think
I'll tell you what it is. With me, because when I first started, I was on an old computer. It was an Apple, but it was old and it wasn't the most up to date technology. And that's what it was for me. And I had to get a new computer. I went and got this little laptop. I ain't had a problem since. When I used to try to get on my iPad, I used to have issues as well on my iPad. And then my wife gave me her old iPad on the side. I haven't had to use it yet, but that might be what the issue is. If your Wi-Fi is good, it might be the device you're using. So I don't know.
yeah, I'm on my iPad
Could
and
be.
oh
Are you
no,
on Chrome or Safari?
I'm on Chrome. Safari won't let me do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Won't let me.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can fix that issue because when you return, we want to hear more from you, more often, more from you, and maybe we can help. Do you have a computer already?
Yeah, I have my computer and my iPads are current. Um, and like I said, I can't see on my end a drop or anything. My signals are strong, so I'm not. I couldn't gauge. I couldn't gauge.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
But prior to that, I couldn't gauge. But I seen comments come up, so I want to. I want to say, in tune sounds awful, something like that.
See, we can't hear you now. We don't know what you're saying right now. We can't hear you. We know you're talking,
Okay,
but we can't hear what you're saying.
but you can't. All right. So I'm a type something.
Yeah, sure. You say you're going to type something. But where, are you in a location in your house, maybe? Because if you move
That's
around a little bit, sometimes the signal is better in different places. So I don't know. I don't know if you're able to move around. Yeah, it could be.
Can you see that?
No, can't hear, can't see. All right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Maybe he'll try to get a better signal somewhere where he can be heard and seen a lot better. All right. Well, we got I have a whole lesson prepared, but I really wanted to spend today with the brothers' lesson. So we're going to see if he tries to return. But while we're waiting for him, if there are any questions or comments in reference to the lesson, please speak on it. Bring it out. Let us know. Are there any questions or concerns or anything? Any elaboration on the lesson of today? All right. Are there any are there any prayer requests today? Because we're going to close it out now. and then I'll come back with the lesson that I have prepared for next week. I think the young brother did an excellent job. I'm very appreciative that he came in and spoke on the behalf of the Most High and the people of the Most High with his own personal experience. Spoke from the soul.
It's a good testament, like life and growth.
Yes.
Life and growth,
Right.
connecting with
Are there any prayer requests from anyone? All right. Let's all rise, please, and face the east. We're going to make tefillah before the Almighty. Let's go. Abi, our power, our King, our Master, Savior of all creation, thou who holds eternity in thy hand. We humble ourselves before you and we ask for permission to approach unto your throne. Abi Wa'abatenu, Salak Lanu Kitot Kol Yisrael, Asher, Chasim, Lifnei Atah. Great and mighty King, please, our Father, forgive all Yisrael for our sins that we commit before thy face. Darit Tain Lanu, Darit Shelka, Asher Nafnu Be'amet Teka. Show us your way, Father, that we may walk in your truth. Nah, Abi, please, Father, nah. Poteyak Lavin Kol Yisrael, open up our minds, the minds of all of Israel. Baruch Anu Yehovah, Yotzer, Baruch Anu. Bless all of us, great King, Creator, bless us all. Kawak Lanu, strengthen us all. Teach us all, help us all, heal us all. Forgive us all of our sins and our iniquities and all that we have done before thee. Heal us in our inward parts, Father, that we may be holy and righteous vessels before thee, to teach the world, the earth, the universe, how to serve you, how to worship and honor you, and how to come together in true community with true healings within our wings as we serve you. Strengthen us, Father, for we are your people. There is none other than you to serve. There is nowhere for us to go except it be to dedicate our lives and our existence unto thee. Thank you for the wonderful lesson that you have allowed us to receive today. Thank you for the spirit and the teachings that it was brought forward in. I pray that whomever that lesson was for, the soul that it was meant to be brought upon, that they, that it, that them, that they receive it, that they hear the words of the great lesson that was taught, and that they would allow the words of the teachings to manifest within their efforts, their thoughts, their deeds, their lives, and that they would too begin to be the best version of themselves as they hold on to that teaching to help as a guide to heal them and to bring them back to your truth. Father, you speak to us in many ways through your servants, and we are so grateful. Grateful for the lessons and opportunities that you give us in life to correct our journeys, to correct our path, and to fix and correct our mistakes, and implement a new way into our lives to serve, honor, and worship you. There's power in words. And with the proper word, the proper time, it gives us life. And this has been a proper word at this time, Father, to revoke life within all the minds of the people who have heard these teachings. Unto thee, Father, we pray. We thank you, we honor, and we worship you. From now and forevermore. Toda Abi. Abi, Toda Rabbi. Thank you, Father, for hearing our prayers. This would be a good time to sing a song. This would be a good time to sing a song. Okay. Ames says, how can we maintain a balanced mind spirit while sitting on the judgment seat? The only way that you can do that is to remove your emotions out of the equation. In my opinion, Aim, is to remove your emotions out of the equation and judge based on the evidence that you see before you. But that evidence has to be weighed against the Torah. And if that evidence is weighed against the Torah, then we're good. Then we're good. I pray that helps to answer your question, Aim. Yes, yes.
Among the gods, there is none like unto thee, neither are there any works like unto thy works. All nations whom thou hast made shall come and worship before thee, O Lord, and shall glorify thy name, for thou art great and doest wondrous things. Teach me thy ways, O Lord, yes, I will walk in thy truth. Unite my heart to fear thy name. Oh, I will praise thee, O Lord, with all my heart, and I shall glorify thy name. For thou art great, yes, and doest wondrous things. Thou art great and do 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 wondrous things. Among the gods.
You could have caught it before it started. May the Most High be praised. Thank you, everyone, for coming out, sharing your Shabbat day with us today, allowing us to worship with you, to give the Most High the highest praise. So, family, Creator willing, if it is His will, next week we will be returning. Now, next week we do to be at the Unity Shabbat, or we'll be here. Okay, when's the Unity Shabbat? 26? Okay. So we have a Unity Shabbat coming up that we will be attending, but what we'll do is we'll probably be broadcasting from the Unity Shabbat location when that happens. And that's supposed to be on the 26th of July, 2025. Okay. But as it stands right now, Creator willing, next week we'll be back and we'll do some more teaching, some more bringing together, some more powerful things. But one of the things I liked about today's teaching was, if you look below the surface of the teaching, what was really being said was, you can't just talk about something, you have to do it. And you have to be a part of the doing to bring about change. There are so many of us who sit in rooms like this. Okay, I'll see it in a second, Aim. I thought I answered it, Aim, but I'll address it again. There's so many of us who sit in rooms like this, live in person, some on the screen, and we have all these great teachings presented before us. But right after Shabbat is over, we go back to our ordinary lives and not making any significant impact on the nation or any significant changes within our lives to go about bringing about the ultimate goal that we see, that we would like to see our future to be. So family, if it is that you've heard this lesson on today, and if this lesson has aroused you in any spiritual way, don't let this lesson be in vain. Hold on to the teachings that you've heard today and implement the things that you know are needed in your life to take you to that next level of becoming part of one with the nation of Israel. Help us, family, because we need your help. But more important than just helping us, help yourself, because you know where your shortcomings lie. And only you can bring healing to yourself. If you're a man and your problems are drugs, your problem is marijuana, your problem is cigarettes, or even if your problem is eating chicken. If you're a problem with sex and you're a sex abuser and you want to have sex with more than just your husband or your wife, if you have any of those issues, when you take these issues before the Most High in prayer, you have to physically get up from your prayer and put forth actions in your life to show the Creator that you want to bring about change in your life. And if you don't, then you won't. And that's the crutch of what this lesson was all about today. That's what it was all about. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. All right, Aim Kater, I brought up, well, maybe, is that the only thing she said? Is that what it,
That was the only question.
yeah. But I spoke on that, Aim. I'll speak on it again. And Aim, if you like, you can come on and you can do your presentation. You can if you have, if I'm missing a point, Aim, you know you can always take the link and come on in and start speaking. You know that, Aim. But what Aim said was, how can we maintain a balanced mind, spirit while sitting on the judgment seat? And my response to that, Aim, was that while sitting on the judgment seat, you have to first have a proper spirit to be worthy of that seat. Whereas a lot of people who haven't cleaned up their own house, their own living room, their own kitchen, their own car, their own lives, but they're busy judging someone else with the expectations that their judgment is going to matter because they are worthy of being a judge. A lot of people are not worthy of being a judge, but they're quick to judge someone else. That's what the lesson was about. How can I judge someone else when my own life or my own home is totally out of order and in great need of devastating need of being repaired? Now, again, keep in mind, you don't have to be perfect. No one has to be perfect to sit in the judgment seat. You just have to be striving for perfection in your own life while you're trying to help someone else to be a better individual. So in order to maintain a balanced mind or spirit while sitting on the judgment seat, it's best that you use the Torah as your measuring rod to judge individuals. Based on what the Torah says is how you should utilize, with your understanding of Torah, how to judge individuals, be it positive or negative. Right? So, Aim, I pray that answers your question. I pray that it does. And if it doesn't, just let me know and we can revisit it and try to speak on it again a little bit with a little bit more clarity. May the Most High be praised. Turn over back. Yes, sir. The Most High will ask us. The Most High will help us if we ask, if we request it. The Most High will help us if we request that help. So I do have a full lesson for us today, but I don't want to get into it now. I'll wait until next Shabbat, and I'll present my lesson then. And if this doesn't alter, the lesson will be coming out of 2 Chronicles chapter 24 and the book of Judges chapter 15. I have a unique way of blending those two chapters together, and it's going to be a powerful thing. But before that, I also wanted to mention that I wanted to do a lesson on homelessness. What it's like to live on the streets. Why some of our people are living on the streets, and how close it is we are, many of us, to being homeless right now. I want to do a lesson on that. And I have some people that I want to bring in on the platform who are currently living homeless on the streets. A couple people, they're actually living on the streets. And I wanted to bring them in. I might do that class next week. I wanted to bring them in so that they can give us a little bit of information about what the homeless life is really like. See, we don't see that. A lot of us, we don't see that. But a lot of people that are tuned in every week are really homeless. Some of the people within the sound of my voice don't have a roof over their head. They sleep out in the park, on a bench, in a car. Or I've met some people, a man and a woman, who was actually sleeping in their car every night. I gave them a place to stay. They're still there to the day, and that's been over a year now. Yeah, it's been over a year now. They pay rent, so they earn their way. It's just that they didn't have anywhere to go, anywhere to live. And they have been living on the streets. They have been sleeping in the car for a long time. Some of us just need a helping hand. Some of us just need a jump start, a little bit of help, or for someone to show that they care about us. Because homelessness affects everybody differently. You know, I got this one lady that I met. This is going to be one of the guests that's going to come on. Her name is Penny from Ohio. She's from Ohio. And Penny calls me at least 2-3 times a week. Matter of fact, maybe sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, just to talk. And ain't got much to talk about, but talks about everything. Yes, just to talk. So sometimes they just need somebody there to know somebody cares. And plus, that's our duty before the Creator, to help to care for those who can't care for themselves, or who are in houses of jail houses and need to be freed from the prisons. That's our duty as the children of Israel, as servants of the Most High, to help release the burdens off of people that have those burdens up on them. If not, why are you here? What are you trying to learn? Or what do you expect to learn if you're not going to do things to learn how to change your lives and your behaviors by helping others? All right, Ima, you can give those some of those to. If you can talk to them first and see if they'll come in and speak, then we'll be glad to have them come on and give their version of their story and how they got to be where they are and how we can warn others not to walk down that journey.
She's saying that she has contacts for those to get how to help.
Okay. Well, we need some. If you do have them, Ima, we do need them. The sister calls me all the time about what she would like to have and what she needs. But you got to remember that some of these people have mental issues that they're dealing with. Some of them have they need psychotic help. But there are a whole lot of them that ain't nothing wrong with their mental. Life has just given them a bad deal. Yeah. And they're suffering. Has nothing to do with them doing drugs, choosing the street life. Some of them are professors, college graduates, some doctors. A lot of people, some of them went to college and like she said, just can't find a job. A lot of people are dealing with those issues and they need help. And the cost of living is crazy. Plus the food ain't helping because the food poisoning you, making your mind capability less strengthful as it wants or should be if you ate the proper foods. So let's come together, family, and I'll try to have that lesson prepared for next week. And if I can present that lesson next week, I will. And if I can't get everybody together by the lesson next week, then I'll just present the previous lesson that I just mentioned, 2 Samuel's in the book of Judges. Are there any questions or comments, family, before we close it out for the day? Or any questions or comments? I don't think we've ever closed out this early. Are there any questions or comments?
Just a reminder about the holidays.
All right. What about the holy days, Ima?
That they're coming up.
You want the mic? Ima said the holy days are coming up. So be ready. Yom Teruah is right around the corner. I think we have Yom Teruah. I believe it is on September. I asked you, did you want the mic?
No, she's hoping.
So why are you screaming across the room? September 24th. And remember, family, you can go to the One Nation Calendar Coalition. OneNationCalendarCoalition.com, OneNationCalendarCoalition.org, and OneNationCalendarCoalition.net. Any of those three places you can go and you can see a list of the holy days, the up and coming holy days.
Say the same information.
That's the same website.
It's the same website. They want all of the
Oh, I'm like, what?
Aim Kater, she says, then judging oneself should not be deprecating, but an opportunity for self-growth. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. Deprecating. I don't know what that word means, Ima, and I know that you're a teacher. What? What'd you say?
It's almost like appreciating who you are.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for that education. And I know you're an educator, Iman, so please forgive me. But my wife just explained it to me. It's not appreciating who you are, the taking away from your essence or your values, and like beating yourself up, I guess. So yes, it should be an opportunity for self-growth. Absolutely, and that's what the lesson was about. May the Most High be praised. So if there's no other questions or comments, we're going to close out the class for today. And thank you all for coming in and being a part of what we do. May the Most High be praised. Shalom, shalom. Lala Tov, everyone. Lala Tov.